Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be talking about the all-new Mi Band 4. So this little fitness tracker smartwatch kind of combo there is only $40. So $40 is way cheaper than a lot of the other products out there. I see a lot of these fitness trackers that are anywhere from $100 to $120. And this is claiming to offer almost exactly the same features as something like the Galaxy Fit, for example, and even more features in some different aspects. So in this video, I really want to dive in and figure out, is this actually worth $40, or are they somehow cutting so many corners that, they're feeding you fake numbers? I'm going to be testing the accuracy of the heart rate sensor, the sleep tracking, and all of the other sensors and tracking that this is able to do. But then also I'll be diving into the interface on this, the screen brightness, the screen resolution, and as well as the app, because honestly, a lot of the magic happens in the app for products like this. So a lot to talk about in this video. This really is a pretty amazing product if it does what they say it does. So let's find out in this video. So if this is your first time on my channel and you are interested in the latest tech reviews and experiments just like this video, please consider going down and clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss the latest videos as I upload them. So starting off with just the box, I ordered this on Amazon. It's not easy to really get this. You can find it on eBay or Alibaba. I found it on Amazon just because I trust Amazon a little bit more, and the shipping was a lot faster as well. And when I got it, you have to make sure that if you are not in China, you buy the global edition, because the non-global one is only Chinese, and it's a slightly different product. So you want to get the global one. So I bought the global one. When I got it, let me just show you the box right now. So I got it and I opened it up, and you can see on the front, it's all Chinese. Let's see. I mean, I can't read that. There's a couple numbers here and there, but for the most part, it's all Chinese everywhere in there. And then I look at the manual, and if we look at that, the whole manual is nothing but Chinese everywhere. And so I was a little concerned when I first got this, because I thought, did I accidentally buy the wrong version? And so what you have to do then, or if yours looks like this when you get it, it's all Chinese, what you do is you download the app and you sync it with the app. Luckily, I was able to use Google Translate. There's kind of like a lens right there. And I was able to read on there what the watch wanted me to do when I paired it with the app. And as soon as it was paired, everything went to English. And now it's been working perfectly ever since. So inside the box, you really only get two things. You get the watch right here, and you get a little charger. And the charger is sort of this little cradle that when you pop the watch apart, so you take the little unit out of the band and you put it in there to charge it. It's fairly easy to do, although it's a little bit strange. I kind of wish it just set in the charger like some of the other watches, but regardless, it's just the way they charge. Everyone does something different. So let's do a quick little mechanical tour of this. So the strap's actually a pretty comfortable rubber right here. It's a very soft rubber. It doesn't really have a lot of friction, so it'll rub really, lightly on your skin. You won't really feel it when it's on your wrist because it's such a light watch. You have your AMOLED screen right there, so it gets fairly bright, and you can change the brightness on 5 different levels. I'll show you that later in the video. But overall, it's extremely light. On the back, you see that little bump out there. That is for the optical heart rate sensor, which should be significantly more accurate than the previous Mi Bands. I'll be testing that later in the video to really find out. And on the screen right there, or on the front, you can see kind of where the screen is. There's definitely a chunky bezel on the top and the bottom, even more so on the bottom, because you have a Cap Touch home button right there, where you see the little circle. That is going to take you home whenever you are on a different screen. Right there, you can actually see a lock, because there is a screen lock on this. I haven't really figured out exactly why you want to use a screen lock. I've been setting the lock anyway, but you still get notifications on here. You'll still get your text messages even if it's locked. And to be clear, it only locks when you take it off your wrist. It'll automatically detect that it has left your wrist, and then it locks it so that other people cannot get in, and you have a 4-digit PIN with 4 possible numbers. So putting it on can be a little bit annoying, because you have to feed it through that loop right there and then somehow hold that there while you reach the pin over to stick it in. So putting it on is not the most convenient thing in the world. It's kind of like a two-handed job that I'm trying to do with one hand all the time, but hopefully you're only taking it off once every week or so whenever you charge it. So overall, I think I do like the band. It is very comfortable, although on this side right here, this little loop sometimes does get caught on stuff if you rub your wrist against things. So just a really small drawback there, not a big deal at all. But next, I want to show you the actual interface of this, because that's where this device really starts to shine. It has a lot of really amazing features in here that I think are borderline like actual smartwatch. So for a fitness tracker like this, I think this could easily be an introductory smartwatch. let's dive into this. So getting into the interface right now, I just chose this watch face to kind of show you the color and the resolution of this screen. So it's a 0.95-inch screen corner to corner, and it's 120 by 240 pixels, so a decent resolution for a little watch like this. And there are a lot of watch faces I'll show you later on in the app. So starting from the home screen, if you go up or down, this will take you through the main options. So you can go to status, and that's going to tell you basically, how far you walked today and how many calories you burned, basic stuff like that. You can go to heart rate. Of course, it's going to read your heart rate. Workout, if you tap on that, you have, 7 or 8 different workouts you can choose from here. So I actually really do like the exercises on this watch as well. Now, if you just open up exercises and say swim, for example, you can choose how long your pool is, and it's going to use the onboard sensors to track how many strokes you have, and overall sort of track your workout as best as possible. And while there is no explicit underwater mode, in order to stop your workout, you have to swipe down and up according to what the screen says. That sort of prevents you from having any accidental touches when you're underwater, because this is just a touch screen, and using water will, register as some touches on the screen. Then you go down, you have your weather, and when you tap on that, it's going to show you, basically what the weather is, like what the high and the low is for today and tomorrow. Not a whole lot of weather there, and of course it has to be connected to your phone for that, because if it is not connected to your phone, this watch does not have GPS, this watch does not have 4G LTE, no Wi-Fi, no cell service. This watch only communicates with the outside world by Bluetooth through your phone. So continuing down, after weather, you have notifications, and when you get notifications on this, it's nice because it'll vibrate, it'll tell you what app is notifying you, and then you can read the text. Although one small drawback is you don't have preset responses to this, so you can't have any quick responses that just say, like, you go and tap and say yes, or anything like that. This is just gonna notify you, and you have to do everything on your phone. Unless it's a phone call, in which case you can either silence your phone or you can reject the call from the watch. So after notifications, we have more, and when you go into more, you have a lot of settings like do not disturb, you have an alarm, and the alarm, so this watch does not make sound, it just vibrates, so it is strong enough, it wakes me up in the morning. I actually like it better than an alarm on my phone that makes sound, because just a subtle vibration is kind of a nice way to wake up. So as we go down, you do have a stopwatch, we have a timer, and the stopwatch does have lap options, so if you're running and you want to, record lap times with that, it is convenient. Then we have find device. If we tap this, it'll actually make my phone start ringing. That is perhaps the most annoying ring it could possibly have, but you can actually change it, within the app, and I'll show you that later on. But you can go down and silence this, which basically means no vibration for this. Then there is AliPay, which I'm not really going to get into too much in this video, because it is a little bit strange and confusing, where they say, NFC payments, you really only can do that with the China version from what I've read so far, and I haven't actually tried setting that up with this. So something that, if you've tried it, comment down below and let me know how it worked for you. Then settings is where you're going to either, lock the screen, reboot your entire thing, because remember, there is no on button on this, so to turn it off or reboot it, you can do it right there. And then also at the top, you can change your brightness to one of 5 different levels. So back to the home screen, what you can actually do from the home screen is go left and right as well, and that'll take you into your music right here. If I'm playing, so let's just turn on some music on my phone. The music is playing on my phone right there, and when we look at the watch, you'll see as we swipe over to the side, it'll pop up and tell me what song is playing. You can play or pause or skip to the next song. And then at the top, you can actually turn your phone volume up and down remotely. So this is cool if your phone is on a stereo somewhere, or if otherwise your phone is a little bit farther away. So the exercises on this watch do use the accelerometer, which is on board, and the heart rate sensor, which are 2 sensors in the watch that are able to track your activity fairly well. So if you're cycling, of course, you want to be using the GPS on your phone. So this doesn't, like I said, this doesn't have GPS, but it can use connected GPS through your phone to track your workouts. Now, if you're doing something like swimming, this is actually waterproof for up to 50 meters. I swam with it, I showered with it, and I've been wearing it, consistently in any kind of water or wet environment in the rain, and it holds up just fine. So it really is waterproof, and I wouldn't worry about that. So when you're receiving notifications on the watch, you're not going to be able to see special characters or emojis. The emojis I totally understand, but the special characters on the global edition, I could see if you're not, speaking English, this could be somewhat of a drawback for you. I know a lot of other languages use different characters that might not be included on this watch. Right here on an Android, this is what it's going to look like. I don't know if it looks slightly different on Apple. I didn't try that, but overall it should be fairly similar. And when you're on the home page right here, it's really going to show you mostly about your day, the most stuff that you're caring about, like, what your exercise looked like, what your sleep looked like. When you go and tap on that, it shows you, how long you slept in deep sleep, light sleep, when you were awake. And I do kind of question that. So one thing kind of about the sleep is it says I slept in deep sleep for about 3 hours. And so I'm not a sleep scientist. I don't know a lot about sleep. So I just did a little bit of background research to figure out, is this a reasonable number, or, there is really no way for me to test this without medical equipment. So just from a quick Google search, I found that your deep sleep on average should be about 60 minutes to maybe an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. So for that reason, it seems a little odd that I've been sleeping. Maybe I'm just really good at sleeping, but having 3 hours worth of deep sleep seems a bit strange. So I do question the accuracy of the sleep tracking. So I don't know if you are like a sleep professional, if you know that, comment down below and let me know why this is actually happening. I believe the heart rate sensor might not be reading correctly at night. Maybe the algorithm is tracking slightly less correctly, but overall it should be consistent from day to day. So at the very least, it's good for A to B testing. And this is typically what I would use this for. So if I am going to, I'll try, like, if I don't eat something this long before bed, or if I read before bed, or if I'm watching TV before bed, I'll see differences in my sleep patterns, and just, A to B testing, some split testing like that, I can figure out what's helping me sleep better. So even if this is not accurate, I still think as long as it's consistent, it should be fine for my sleep tracking. So then we have the heart rate tracking right there. Now the heart rate is relatively accurate, as I kind of mentioned before. It's more accurate than the previous versions of this, the Mi Bands, 2 and 3 and whatever else. And so, I just compared it just by taking my own pulse right there and comparing it to what the heart rate is reading here. And after a couple measurements, it's been accurate within plus or minus maybe 2 beats per minute. So relatively close, definitely close enough for my purposes so I can see, how hard I'm working out. You can go over to my workouts. You can dig into a lot of other stuff within this app. There are a lot of data here, but what I want to do is go over to profile and you'll see the Mi Smart Band 4, which is what I'm connected to right now. This is where you can really change a lot about this. So it tells you the battery percentage at the top, which, just a quick disclaimer right there about the battery, it should be lasting you easily a week in my opinion. Yesterday it was at 30%, today it's at 16%, so 15% a day. If I'm doing the math right, that should be about 6.5, 6.8 days or something around that order. Now the band display settings, this is where you can sort of change what the band displays are. You can change the watch faces on here, and there are tons of different ones, and there are a lot of very colorful ones, very animated ones, some that have, they'll tell you your heart rate or how many steps you took today. And so a lot to choose from. Then we have Find Band. Let's test this out right now. So the Find Band is a nice feature, although it only buzzes like 2 or 3 times, and then you have to keep tapping it and it'll keep buzzing, rather than just a long continuous buzz to help you find it. It works the same, honestly. I don't think that's a real drawback. It's just a cool feature to have. If you lose this, just that little buzzing, especially if it's on a hard surface, should be fairly easy to find this. So farther on down in the app, you can actually change which wrist it's on so that when you lift your wrist up, the screen should come on right away. And then, of course, you can palm it to turn it off. I also tested the pedometer, and honestly, it was fairly accurate. I was able to get approximately the same steps I was using. Of course, if you're going for a run and not using GPS, a pedometer is never going to be that accurate. Your stride length might change with your pace, or it might change if you're walking versus running, obviously. So if you're trying to track your fitness in like a run or something like that, definitely bring your phone so it's a little bit more accurate. But if you're just looking for time or a relative idea of maybe how far you ran within 20-25%, then it definitely works. Honestly, guys, I think that's all I have to say about this Mi Band. I think that for $40, it definitely is worth it. This seems to be a really great deal. The battery lasts a long time, has a really nice screen, has a lot of features, seems to be fairly accurate. Honestly, I'm not really sure what kind of drawbacks there are. So $40, if someone told me this was $100, I would still buy it. So that's why I think this might be the best fitness tracker that I've seen yet. Of course, I will be comparing this to the Galaxy Fit and another budget fitness tracker later on this week. If you want to see that, make sure you go down and subscribe. Guys, if you like this band or not, let me know your comments, your ideas down below, even questions you have. I've been using this Fitband, for a couple days now to really get a good feel for it. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.